So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We're about to get this started right here, right now, though. So I'm about to boot up the countdown. So we're just gonna mute real quick.
Oh, no worries.
Hey, let's do this, Metaphor ReFantazio boys. Let's go.
And keep 100 real true. Ay, ay, ay. 100%. 100%.
Steely stare, baby. Stare him down, Luigi. Give him that angry eye. Yo, this better take him out. This better hit him. Come on, bro. Look at all that damage. It's just 50% accurate, but come on. Hit him with it. Hit him with it. Hit him with it. Bro, fuck this. Thought you can just cut the arm and the leg off, not just the hand. He still can hit me. Bro, he put like 60 damage on me with just one hand. Come on, get him! Let's go, finish him off. Let's go. We did it. GG emotes in the chat, and if y'all don't got them, get him. Literally, this doesn't even feel like Mega Man. It feels like I'm playing fucking Mighty number 9 right now. I'm using save state from Mighty number 9. That's literally what this feels like. Bro, come on, man. I'm shooting at it. It's right there. And I move one step, and it's like, yep, I'm dead. Like, what? No, this is crap. This is crap. This part. What do they want? This is literally like objectively bullshit. Like they literally shouldn't have made this game. Like they literally made it to try and make some money. That was why the Capcom made this game back in the day. It's about to be molto bene. Molto bene. Let's go! They made their own engine for this game too, impressive stuff. It really is. Like this game in general, the mechanics and everything, it's so good. Even though you need Rusty, just getting back into it, it's fun. Did that the wrong way, but it's fine. It's fine. They got a 2-star. It's okay. I don't know why I didn't, but it's fine. People like things. One that wasn't in that video, classic Pigman. That was definitely in one of my favorites as well. But yeah, let's collect these beans, these items, and these beans. Take me to Taco. Speaking of Taco Bell, Taco's actually not bad. We're just going to town and stuff. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yo, let's hit 10 like hype though. Let's go. No, we're going to attack. Please attack, bro. You can't fuck this up. You were attacking before when you were infatuated with me. Come on, hit him. Wow, you're charmed. You asshole. Okay. You don't have enough SP. I didn't realize that. No. No! I didn't realize that. No! 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 I did not see that. We would have won. Now I'm scared. Might as well heal my SP, but I can't right now. So I'm a guard. Stop hitting me. Stop getting these crits. Stop. Come on. What the fuck? See, so Val, like, if he puts in that damage, though, he does. As long as you're hitting and you're not dying. Ooh, I don't know what was happening there. This game is kind of jittering. I think I was swapping characters a little too fast for the game expectations. But we're putting that damage into Karina right now. Look at that. Karina's putting that work. Look at this. Oh, baby. With Karina. 3-1. And we almost hit level 12 here. Let's go. We're going to continue going this way. Let's fucking go. Hey, GG emotes in the chat if y'all got them. If you don't got them, hello. You completed the third, well, 1 out of the 3 final worlds of the game for Poo. Let's go. And we found Poorin's family member, Corn. Hi, Corn. My story. Wow, I tripped over rocks. Must be done. So yeah, sometimes there could be an infinite delay, I guess. Whew. We need this. This is it. Everyone, drop some hype emotes in the chat if y'all got them. GG's night move. Woo. Put in work. Put in work. Put in work. Put in work. So I guess I am online. It's online after all. Destroyed. Oh, we have our own Tanuki mech. Shout out to Brian Ricardo. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. We're playing the Switch demo for Bakaru, otherwise known as a Toki Katsude Mameda no Bakaru. Originally a Japanese Switch exclusive series, and now it's getting a Western English translation release. Officially. So that's pretty dope. It's made by Nintendo and the team Goodfield, which last made Yoshi's Crafted World and Yoshi's Woolly World. So there is quality behind this. Digimon, Digital Monster, Digimon, Digital Champions. She's such a Digimon ass team. Oh no! No!
Stop! 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 Get out of... You're watching. This is insane. Come on, I wanted my finisher. Just fuck him. You just need to do it. Oh my god. But yo, I'm most likely gonna probably have to wrap up the stream after this match. But it's all good. I'll be shooting more SmackDown vs. Raw next week.
Keep 100 real true, ayy, 100%, 100%. Keep 100 real true, ayy, 100%, 100%.
There we are. We are in here. And we are live. I apologize for the issue before. We were having a little bit of a technical difficulty at the start, but it is all good. We are now in here for the episode of the broadcast. We are back, and it's me and my friend David Cash JRPGs. We'll be going into our thoughts of Metaphor ReFantazio. The Metacritic review scores happened today. We're going to be talking about our thoughts of the prologue demo and getting into more details of what we think about the future of Atlas with the magnum opus of Metaphor ReFantazio. So before we get into it, I'm going to have my friend here, David Cast JRPGs, introduce himself. So the floor is yours. Of course, we just have to make sure our mics are on. I know we had to have our mics muted at the intro, so you should be good. Oh, yeah, no, actually, I don't hear you, actually. Ooh, something must have just happened. Hold on, one moment. 1 second, everyone. But shouts to all 8 of you watching right now. If everyone's watching, you can share the stream. That'd be appreciated. We're shooting for at least an hour. So thank you to everyone who's coming through to the stream. I'm just going to fix this real quick. Sometimes with Streamlabs and Discord, sometimes there could be technical issues every now and then. So I'm just seeing if I can edit the audio on this side. Seeing if I can, because it says your volume's on. See if there's another way I can do that. Just give me 1 second, David, if you don't mind. At least we have some banging OST from Metaphor ReFantazio playing, and I guess if anyone's watching the stream, thank you so much for coming through. I guess I'll do my intro right now while I'm fixing the audio real quick. My name is V-Sips. I do gameplay live streams, and the broadcast is a series I do. It's a video podcast, and so I appreciate everyone who's come through. We're going to do it every so often, so thank you all for being here. I'm going to see, because I heard your audio literally just a second ago, like when we started, because like coincidentally, when you called at the beginning, David, Streamlabs was going. So like the stream like just started the moment you were talking earlier. So like your audio was working. So like I'm not sure, maybe on your end real quick, maybe see if there's like a button. Because no, you can hear yourself all. Yeah. So that's weird that I don't hear. Inception. Yeah, maybe leaving and rejoining. Maybe we'll try that. I'll leave and rejoin. Nah. Yeah, I can hear you. Say that again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So it was just
I hear myself. I'm not sure what the problem was, but here I am. Yo.
So it wasn't you, it wasn't me. It was Discord being Discord.
Yes, sir. Happens to all of us.
Yeah, it does. And so I hope everyone didn't leave for good. I hope everyone was willing to be patient and wait. Thank you so much to everyone who's here. Once again, let's restart from the beginning. My name is V-Sips. I do gameplay live streams. This is my video podcast series, The Broadcast. And on this podcast series, we're going to have guests on. We usually one-on-one, like this, for example, and discuss various topics that happen within the week or within the recent weeks, like Metaphor ReFantazio, which is a game that we've both been heavily interested in. And You yourself, David, had some personal insight. You've actually went to the event in New York, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. So,
It's been one hell of a journey waiting for Project ReFantazio, which was announced in 2016.
yep.
So, yep,
Many
been waiting
people,
for a while.
many people still call it refantasy, actually, and
Yes,
it's
sir.
funny too. But yeah, so that is all about me and this podcast. David, let everyone who may not know who you are, I guess, since they probably want to know how you got the chance to check out the game early and all that good stuff too. So,
Of course, shouts to everyone who's here tonight. That's much appreciated. Shoutouts to you as well for having me on again, because I've been on before, and this is what I was trying to find before we started. I think I was on. I should have it right here because I have a playlist where I keep all the videos and podcasts that I've been on before, and I know I've been on the broadcast before.
yeah, I
Hey,
think you've
here
been
it
on
is, 3 years ago.
twice. Yep. Yeah, no, that's how long it's been. It's been 2 to 3 years.
Ooh,
Yeah.
E3 2021 predictions is what we did. Rest in peace, E3. So yes, I was on a while ago, but again, thanks for having me on. So my name is David. I run a YouTube channel mostly about Atlas, to be honest, but I like to talk about RPGs in general. So my podcast, we talk about stuff that isn't RPGs. You've been on, of course.
Yeah, the Demon
But
Appreciation
mostly Atlas.
podcast.
Yep.
And
And yes, I had the chance to play Metaphor in August in a preview event with Atlas. We were able to play for 3 hours, meaning that I was able to play most of the demo, but not all of it. So I experienced new stuff when I played the demo. So
right.
cool stuff. Yeah.
And that's what's actually really cool is you brought up how you're trying to do not just Atlas but also other RPG content. And I know
Yeah.
one of those games, before we get into Metaphor ReFantazio as the main crux of our discussion today, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. If you don't mind me asking real quick before we get into Metaphor ReFantazio, how much are you anticipating that release and what are your thoughts going about it? Like, are you anticipating the release? Are you excited for everything that's going to be coming from it? Like how it's another HD 2D game and it's actually been a little bit of a while since the last one.
Of course, 100%. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, I've been extremely excited for ever since they announced it. I think it looks awesome, and I've played I've played Dragon Quest 1, I played 3, but just a little bit, not to completion, so it's a new experience for me, and I know it's the best one out of the first 3 games, so I'm very excited for that. Got it pre-ordered a long time ago. It's not going to be played day one, sadly, due to me not having enough time to play games, and again, Metaphor is by far my priority. But as soon as I'm done with Metaphor, there's nothing else that I'd rather play than Dragon Quest 3. So very excited for it. Everything that they've showed from it looks awesome. I'm shocked that there were no demo for it though, so I think that is surprising. Maybe we get one in the near future, but as of now, no demo, and that's shocking because Square, they used to do a lot of demos. Not Atlas, and we do have a demo for Metaphor, and not
Yes.
Dragon Quest, which, hey, I'm not complaining. So they sold so many copies by dropping a demo for Metaphor, so
I agree.
love their part.
And it is such a contrast because Atlas is normally not known to do that in comparison to Square Enix, who normally always does. And so, hopefully, with that demo that came out, it does really incite tons of people to go out and buy the game. I know the Metacritic review scores, though, which that dropped today. You were ahead of the game. You were speed running that 1048 up.
To be fair, the Metacritic page was already up. As I told you, everything was ready for my coverage because I always cover Atlas review. When the embargo lifts for an Atlas review, I always cover what press has to say because for those of you who don't know, the way that Atlas works nowadays is they have 2 embargoes. They have one embargo for press and media, and they have one for creators. And it's not the same embargo. So even when I get review copies from Atlas, I can't talk about it at the same time as, let's say, an IGN or a GameSpot or something. So I always do a video talking about, well, basically something along the lines of what you did. So just going over some of the reviews and giving my thoughts on what they're saying and all that stuff. And sometimes you get a better idea of what the game is if, let's say, you're not playing it or something, or you're not up to the point where they gave it. And one thing that they did with Metaphor is they gave codes very late for it. So it's crazy for me to read. I know that some of these people covering the game today it's their job to play games and
Yeah.
cover games and stuff, and they're lucky. It's not the case for people like us, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Definitely not the
so-
same. They've already put like 100+ hours in mostly.
Exactly. So yeah, I wish that was a possibility here for me, but it's not.
Yeah,
Sadly,
and
nowadays,
same
it's
same
not
for me as
possible.
well, because like you said, it's all about time, and like it's an 80+ 100-hour RPG from Atlas. Like we're gonna want to replay it. You know what I mean? Like so that's another 80 to 100 on top.
And to be honest, when they first changed their ways of doing things, because a few years ago I used to get codes at the same time as these press sites. We would have a different embargo, but we would get the game a month and a half early. I played the original SMT5 a month and a half early. I
Yep,
played
I
Nocturne
remember
HD almost 2 months early. So the game was fully completed weeks before the game even came out.
Yeah.
And it was cool because I had a review up at launch, which was very exciting as a fan. But today, obviously, I'm not having a review at launch for Metaphor. I am going to enjoy spending a lot of time on it and just doing everything that I can. And there's no embargo to, I have to make it work and be done by this date. That's not going to be the thing here.
Right.
So I'm just stoked to have all the time that I want and need to experience the game, basically.
And even better, that makes the video that you will create eventually probably more precise, more time put into it, and it'll be
Pretty much.
even more well crafted than it would have if you had to like expedite it with a deadline, which
Right.
that's never fun, having to expedite the deadline.
There's for and against an early code and just a late video, so I'm good with Metaphor. I'm not complaining.
So, when we saw the Metacritic reviews this morning, was there a specific review either on PlayStation or Xbox or Steam that really caught your eye? Because there's a few that I saw that were pretty good, and surprisingly enough, the review scores did change throughout the day. Like this morning it was 93, eventually it became a 94, and
Yep.
the PC review was actually higher at a 95, it's now at a 92. And the Xbox review was a little lower, and now it's up to 92. So
What are the current scores right now?
for those three,
Yeah.
Xbox 92, PC 92, and PS5 94, with the overall universal claim of 94.
Okay, cool. 94 is insane, dude.
Tied of
It's extremely
Astrobot.
good. Yeah, exactly. So, and the Astrobot got universal praise, so it's a very good
Yeah.
sign for Metaphor. Hey, I know Rebirth got a good score, but
It's
Li-
not.
if you-
in
I
the
don't know
top
if you
five,
listen-
Unfortunately,
I have not played Rebirth, so I can't talk about it,
Oh,
and
I
I will
played
play
it.
it for sure.
Oof.
You have? Okay. Well, the thing is, everyone that I heard talk about Rebirth and praised it, and even people that gave it very high review scores, all of them had this same complaint of the pacing sucks ass. There's forced mini games, there's this and that. Because I listened to a few reviews, I just don't have the time to play it, but I own it and I want to play it. And it's not really the case for Metaphor. So even if Rebirth got a good score, it kind of feels like some people gave Rebirth a higher score because it's Final Fantasy VII.
yup.
Exactly.
Yup.
Metaphor, I'm sure there's also these people. It's made by all the legends at Atlas, right? So Ujima, Hashino, and Meguro.
Yeah.
So of course you gotta show some respect and give it a good score. But I think overall, when you read reviews, which I know you have as well, it feels trustworthy. It feels like they really loved it, and I hope it gets awards. I hope it gets the recognition it deserves. I was a little worried at a certain point, saying that, hey, not a lot of people are talking about it, not that much discourse around it, and I made a video last week saying, hey, the discourse changed about Metaphor. People are excited now. I've been covering the game before it was even called ReFantazio, and when they revealed it last year, fully re-revealed it last year as ReFantazio, I've been covering it ever since, and the videos used to do kind of okay-ish, and now all the vids about Metaphor are doing like very good for my channel. So it shows that there's interest. It shows that people are excited for it. Lots of people seem to pre-order it. It was #1 on the PlayStation Store just a few days ago. As the top seller. It was on Amazon US as well, bestseller for PS5 games.
Yep.
And for a Japanese role-playing game in the States to do that is extremely impressive, especially if you don't have a Nintendo version, which obviously Metaphor is coming out everywhere but
It
on
will
Nintendo.
definitely eventually on Switch 2. Switch 2. I think
It will,
that's-
yeah.
That's definitely.
I think so too, but I wish it was on Nintendo day one. It would probably push it to the next level, at least in Japan, in terms of sales and reception. But again, at this point, it's October 7th. We're on launch week, and I'm not worried at all.
Oh no, I'm not worried at all. I think it's definitively gonna hit 1 million no matter what. Like that's a given. I've seen a lot of people say if we're gonna get into like projections, like I've seen some people say 3 to 4 million, especially with being multi-plat and seeing how much of the marketing there is. Because like in my video, for example, today I went over a bit of the marketing, like how I was just randomly just watching a show last night on Amazon Prime, the Sausage Party series, and they have a TV series. I just decided to watch it. I seen multiple advertisements for Metaphor ReFantazio during it. Multiple. I seen at least
Are
a
you
couple.
serious?
Dead ass.
Wow,
and
that's
Xbox,
sick.
of course. It said at the end only on Xbox. But
Right.
they're doing it though. They're pushing it, and it is working to an extent. We just have to see if it works for that specific console and not just in general. Because I think a lot of people don't realize it's multiplat until someone asks someone, and then it's like, it's multiplat. Oh, I could just get it on my PS5 or Steam. And I feel like people who were saying that it's working are gonna get a little backfire. I feel like.
I want to give my take on this because I've seen a lot of people. I think I saw you talk about that on Twitter as well. And I'll be honest, I think with the audience, the people like you and I who are excited about Metaphor, if you're excited into these styles of more niche genre JRPGs, basically, if you're into these style of games, I feel like most people are aware of the gaming landscape and community and stuff. So I think most people who are excited for that game specifically and games in that genre specifically are aware of the platforms that it's coming on. I don't think if let's say it were a Call of Duty, then that's different. A lot of people would be, oh, it's in the trailer, it says Xbox and that's it, so it has to be just Xbox. But for a game like this, you don't have the dude who buys one games per year buying Metaphor.
Right.
People buying Metaphor are like me. It's a stupid ass geek with 3 IKEA shelves full of games, right? So I am aware, of course, that the game's coming out on other platforms. The general public, the dude that looks at games on a shelf at Walmart and is like, oh, this Metaphor thing looks cool, I'll buy it. This person is not looking into a Metaphor, you know?
And that's what I wanted to mention, because I saw on Twitter like yesterday and today, because like people were like bringing up Metaphor a lot more often. People are bringing up how much of an RPG it's truly like one of the best of the year. People are bringing up how they just don't see it that way. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, Final Fantasy is still the thing," and I'm just confused. Like only because that award show, the Golden Joysticks, I mentioned it in my video today. They had at least 7 or 6 nominations for Final Fantasy. Nothing for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth though. And then I didn't see anything for Persona 3 Reload, SMT5 Vengeance. But then here's what happens. I make that video, and then 5 hours later, oh hey, Metaphor's nominated, Vengeance is nominated, and I just look like an idiot.
Infinite Wealth? Did you get any
sad boys.
There's no category for shitty ending. Otherwise, it would be nominated. Hey, listen, I liked Infinite Wealth a lot, but this ending, it fucked me over, dude. It really did. When I beat it, I instantly went on Twitter and I was like, man, these games, they never disappoint me. They never.
And you felt disappointed,
this one did. Yes. And it's been a while since this disappointed me more than the ending in 6. And I know that's controversial, but
that's definitely controversial, especially 6. The ending of that.
Yeah, that's why I chose 6. Hey, it doesn't matter. The game is very good for what it is, and the rest is really good too.
like the gameplay.
I have issues with it. I think 7 is way better, in my opinion. Like the original Like a Dragon is way better than this one, in my opinion. The story, the pacing, and everything, way better, in my opinion. I'll be there playing the Like a Dragon part in Hawaii, probably day 1, because for now in February there isn't anything for me other than that game. So I'll certainly play that day 1, and I don't think Atlas is gonna have anything in February. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna play that one day 1, except if I'm still on Dragon Quest, which is possible for late February.
It's
So
3
we'll see.
games. It's 1, 2, and 3 in the HD collection. It's not just 3. So,
Well, it's just 3 in November, and then
Oh.
next year they're dropping 1 and 2.
see, I didn't know that. I thought it was all 3 together.
I wish.
releasing.
I wish, but at least they're doing all 3. Now, what happened is they announced Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, and then they went silent for like 2 years. And when they re-revealed it, they said, by the way, we're doing 1 and 2 next year in 2025. So there's no date, but it's 2025 for 1 and 2. I think these 2 are confirmed to be like a collection, though. So not standalone releases for them.
Yeah, that'd be crazy if they made each one standalone at that point. At that point, I'd be like, we're just waiting to hope it gets bundled in the future. At that point,
Pretty much. Which is what Square's going to do with Final Fantasy.
oh, you think so? You think that's what Square's gonna do? Maybe
Oh.
with remake, rebirth, and like that for
The,
sure.
the third one.
Yeah.
Well, that's a given. They're doing the trilogy once they're done. There's 1000% that's gonna happen.
It's
Now,
gonna be $120, I think. It's not gonna be like
If
a.
not
It's not.
more.
It's
because that's gonna be like in 2030 or something. So
yeah,
it's
on the
not more at
PS6.
this
On the
point,
PS6. PS6 upgrade.
so PS 6/7 upgrade. Who knows? I mean, we'll see. But do you still like hot takes, don't you?
Of course, of course. The hot take you had before was pretty hot, honestly. Because like I hate the ending of
I have
Yakuza
another
6,
one,
so
dude.
I'm ready.
I think once it's all said and done, I think Metaphor's selling more than Rebirth.
I hope that's the case. I swear.
I think so, man.
'cause
Dude, look at this.
That,
Think about
that
it
game
for a second.
disappointed me, by the way. Rebirth disappointed me the way you felt
Mhm.
about Infinite Wealth. That's how much I was disappointed because I loved the remake. I beat that game twice within a month, and Rebirth,
Wow.
Rebirth, I don't even want to touch it. Like it's too bloated. They did too much of it. The open world is too big. I can't believe I'm saying that, but like, it's too big.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to give my take on it at some point, but I need to play it. We'll see. It's not up.
Yeah.
It's
try
it's
and
pretty
make
high
try
on
and
the
make a
backlog,
try and make a
but-
beeline through the story and just collect the side quests as you organically find them. That's my recommendation because there's too much to do, and that's like an issue. People were like, "Oh, you hate the mini games?" Like, no, I don't hate the mini games. I
They
just feel like
force
it's
them onto you though. That's what I've heard.
yeah.
And
You
that's a
you
problem.
enter the town and you start off with a mini game. It's like if I enter the
Exactly.
town, I want to explore a little bit, find it organically.
Thank you. That what you just described is what I heard from reviews of Rebirth, and to me, that's a problem.
It's a big red
That's-
flag.
Yes, that's a big problem because I am an adult. I can decide when and where I want to do things. Don't force it on me, okay?
Yeah.
So, hey. But yes, that's the hot take. Metaphor is going to sell more than Rebirth once it's all said and done because look at this. Square Enix used to be here and Atlas used to be here. It was always the case. Nowadays, this is how they're doing it. So Square is dropping,
Facts.
falling, and Atlas is raising. Persona and Sega in general, dude. Persona 3 Reload broke records. SMT5 sold really good. Well, the original SMT5 broke records. Vengeance, really good. Infinite Wealth broke records.
Yep.
Metaphor is about to do extremely good as the first new IP in over a decade. So they're doing super good, and you love to see it, dude. And look at this year what they gave us. Atlas themselves, Persona 3 Reload plus the DLC episode Unicorn Overlord, SMT5 Vengeance, and Metaphor.
And if you want to get technical, within the last 365 days, there is Persona 5 Tactica.
There is, which is good.
It is still a
By the
good
way.
game.
It's good. Yes, it is. It's really good. I see a lot of disrespect about it, but it's good. And it released too late. Persona 5 Tactica should have been a Persona 25th anniversary release.
Agreed.
Right, the year after Strikers. Don't care if it's 2 years in a row for a P5 spinoff. They could do it. It was too late at this point. People were looking at Metaphor and Reload and like, who gives a shit? Hey, Reload overshadowed Metaphor for a lot of people, especially the general public. No one talked about Metaphor before Reload dropped,
Yep. And
except
even,
hardcore fans
and
like
even
myself.
right after Reload dropped, pretty much the discourse of Metaphor was really quiet until recently, honestly.
Yes, I agree. Exactly. That's what I covered in the video that I mentioned before, and at least now it's doing good. A lot of people are talking about it. Critics are talking about it. Now, this score, number one, tied again with Astro and what's the other game? Elden Ring.
Well, I personally, I do want to mention, I played Astrobot and beat it. It is one of the best games of the year. It definitely deserves it. I love Elden Ring, I'm one of those people, even if a DLC is an expansion, like it depends how much it really is. Like I don't know. It's hard for me to always like be like, oh, this is DLC and it's an expansion, so it's not just like a little add-on. Like how can you compare that to like a full game release? You know what I mean? So like that
From
for
what
me
I've
makes it
heard,
tough.
and that's fair. But from what I've heard, and again, I'm talking out of my ass because I don't know shit about Elden Ring and I'm not interested at all. But I've heard it's extremely solid and the expansion. I mean, very worth it as a standalone thing is what I've heard.
As a
Don't know what
standalone,
you,
okay. Yeah, I
but
did hear
again,
that.
so but I understand the complaint here for sure. And again, just the fact that it's right here at #1 on Metacritic is gonna help it with word of mouth. People are gonna talk about it and talk about it to their friends, and hey, check that game out. Plus, it's new. It's a new IP. It's not
That is
a
true.
Persona 5 where it's the 5th installment in a series. You don't have to play the prior games, I know, but people who look at it on the shelf at Walmart, they don't know that. So it helps. So I think it has a lot of potential,
Yeah.
especially with what we saw today with reviews.
Right. I can see that being a case. Now, before we get into the topic of the demo, our thoughts of the prologue and everything in between with that, I want to just go into some of the chat right now. Shouts to Decepticon, Gone Hunter, VG Mobster. Yo, shouts to everyone who's watching live, lurking, and in the playback. Appreciate y'all. We have Decepticon saying, the 94 is crazy. Happy to see it's doing well. And then Gone Hunter says 94 is crazy, even though for now there's only 31 reviews. And that's true. Currently only 31 reviews, but you never know. You never know. There's going to be a couple more probably going in every day until probably the end of the week. And we'll have to see. But shout out to everyone's watching. We have 10 of you watching the stream right now. Thank you all for coming through. VG Mobster says, hey, Sips and Dave, Switch Mob in the building. Metaphor crushing reviews. Guess I should play the demo. Yes. Decepticon just said in the chat right after that, got the demo downloading now. Gonna see how it runs on the Steam Deck. And I apologize, my dogs are barking at the moment. So
I've heard it's a little crusty on Steam Deck, right? Sadly, but I've also heard today that they patched the PC version of the game, which I assume is by default going to help with the Steam Deck version.
right.
We'll have to see. So give it
Yeah.
a shot. It's free. I mean, if it runs bad, just uninstall and that's it.
Exactly. And honestly, I think this is the second time they patched the Steam version. Because I remember hearing our friend King Narakami, he was playing the Steam Deck version, and it supposedly got a pretty decent patch from what I last heard. But
Okay.
just now there's another patch that must mean it has to be even better on Steam Deck by now, because they probably realized we need to fix this before release.
Well, there's a lot of interest in Atlas games on PC. They do better and better and better every day, and I see a lot of people telling me that, hey, I want to play it on PC and PC this and that, so.
Right. And that's what's funny is we were talking, before we make it into the topic of the demo, we were talking about Metacritic scores and how certain people love Atlas, know the games will be multiplat. Like, look behind you, you knew it was be multiplat. There is tons of people who were, in my opinion, they were clearly like Xbox gamers. They don't really have any experience with RPGs like Atlas games, and they were pretty much going about like, how can I play this without playing Persona or SMT? It's not to say it's not like it, because gameplay wise it's a lot of the best stuff from those series, but they made it like they couldn't get into it for some reason because they never played an Atlas game before. And I just feel like that type of rhetoric is a thing that could be more than just 3 or 4 people that I saw. There could be a lot of people that think that way about this game on Xbox
Probably.
specifically. So
Because I don't mean this in any type of negative way, but I think Xbox, in terms of percentage, has a big percentage of like casual gamers versus other platforms.
yeah.
So I know there's a lot on Nintendo too, but when it comes to PC and PlayStation, I think there's less casual on PC and way less casual on PlayStation 2 than Xbox.
And there's still a lot of people who are homegrown Atlas gamers who started on PlayStation, because PlayStation was always the original platform for a long time for a majority of Atlas games. So that's why, like,
Oh yeah,
I personally still think the PS5 version is going to sell more than the Xbox version, just off that alone.
yes. I think the PC version has the potential to do the best too, if I'm being honest, because Atlas games on PC are doing extremely well now. Now there was a lot of negative talk and controversy around the PC version. I'm not sure if that's going to impact it in the long run though, especially if they fixed it. So
Yeah, I'm
also,
pretty sure they fixed it, so that should be all good. There's just a couple more comments, and then we're gonna get into our thoughts of the prologue demo. Go Hunter says, "I'll just buy Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, the OGs, as they changed Toriyama's models." Have you heard about that story?
I have, but I don't know much about it though. So
It's, in my opinion, like, there's times where it's a big deal and times where it's not. Like, it's basically just an article of clothing.
mm-hmm.
And like yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the end of the world, and like, I understand some people were like, "Oh, Toriyama was a perv." I'm like, yes, I get it. Like, but if it's not changing the way the character looks completely, like, let's say changing their background, changing like their physical features, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
If it's not something like that where it changes the original character, then I think it's fine. Like, if you're putting a shirt on a character, I think that's fine. If you're making someone go from tiny to bulk, like, let's say Knuckles from Sonic and Sega, in the series Sonic Boom, they just made him have like a growth spurt and these giant like shoulders, like, I'm Knuckles. Yeah, like stuff like that, like where you're just changing the entire design. Like, I think that's too much. But like the story with this, it's literally just a small like article of clothing is just added on to a character.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that bad.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I like these games, but I'm not invested enough in them and their community and their backstories and lore and all that stuff. So for that reason, I'm like, I don't know, and I don't really care. So
Exactly, that's how I feel, honestly, as well.
when that's the case, I'd rather not talk about it
At all.
than just
Yep.
talk and say crap that I'm not someone who when I talk about something, it's because I know what I'm talking about. So I don't know much about the topic, or I'm not gonna talk about it. You know, so
Right.
that's how I try to tackle things.
Of course. Decepticon says Rebirth's gonna hit PC eventually too. Oh yeah, Rebirth's definitely going to hit PC. I definitely could see that. And then Go Hunter says Black Myth Wukong is also a contender. I think there's a lot of people that are sleeping on that only because it is doing great sales wise, but critically I don't think it's doing as well compared to Astrobot and also Metaphor.
Have you seen how many copies this thing sold?
25 million, I think.
Insane. That's insane.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it has to at least be nominated. But then I remember last year where I'm like, Hogwarts Legacy got 20 million and it didn't even get nominated. So like, that's why I'm not trying to like put my eggs in that basket again.
And to be honest, the game that you mentioned from last year, Hogwarts, is a great example of how I look at Wukong. I look at it the same way I looked at Hogwarts Legacy. Don't care, won't care, and it sold extremely well. I'm not totally sure why when it comes to Wukong. Harry Potter is the reason why when it comes to Hogwarts Legacy. I can understand that, but Wukong, I'm like,
well, from what I know for Wukong, since it's basically made by a Chinese studio, and China themselves funded it, and China had their like many people working there off of work that day to buy and play the game. That's why the Steam numbers were also like 10 million.
Why?
Yeah.
Who are them? The devs? Is it like a first thing to have a AAA game from China or something?
Yeah, definitely. From what I've seen, it was one of the first.
That must be the reason why. So it probably is fully mediatized, right? They always talk about it there or something.
And it's based on Sun Wukong, which is the inspiration for Goku, who's in Sparking Zero, which drops right now. Actually, it's out technically for early access, so I'll be playing that later tonight. But it's coming out the same day as Metaphor ReFantazio. So, how do you feel about that?
Don't care either. A lot of people commented on some of my videos saying, "Hey, it's releasing on the same day as Dragon Ball." Blah blah blah.
It's two separate like groups, honestly. At the end of the day, like it's not even like the same in my opinion. You can't.
It's not Metaphor dropping on the same day as Dragon Quest. It's different. It's people who are into Dragon Ball Z that are also into Atlas RPGs are gonna buy both.
Yep.
like you, like
Exactly.
King, like a lot of people that I talk to.
Yep. And the reason
So
why you buy both is because you use your brain for metaphor, you turn it off for Sparking Zero.
have fun with Dragon Ball. Exactly. It's totally, you can play both at the same time if you want to. But if you don't want to, I mean, you get another one on sale later on, and that's totally fine. So I really don't think it's gonna cause any type of issues. You can play both at the same time, or they're mostly for different audiences too.
Right.
Right? I know a lot of people who are going to buy Metaphor don't necessarily care about an anime fighter like myself, but a lot of people who care about it are going to buy both. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Again, no problem here at
It's
all.
definitely fine. And
Dragon Ball's going to sell way more anyways, and that's a given. So I've seen people argue about that, and I was like, what the hell are you talking
why
about?
are you?
Do you know how big Dragon Ball Z is? Like, I'm not a fan, and I know how big it is. So
enormous.
Exactly. Exactly. So, hey,
All right, I'm gonna catch up with the
Twitter.
chat real quick. Shout outs to Saint Lou. 4-year tier says, "Yo, the broadcast is back. Let's go. Hell yeah." And we just got started a little while ago. Basically, the broadcast, every episode going forward, is going to be about an hour to an hour and a half long. Keep it concise, precise, and have a great time. That's what it's all about. And Gohan says, that inspired Goku, one of the most beloved characters in manga history. Yes, Wukong indeed did. Now, I want to talk about the inspiration behind the prologue, Metaphor ReFantazio, how we got a demo, our thoughts of the gameplay, the soundtrack, which for those who are watching the stream right now, we've had the soundtrack going on in the background. Not sure if you've been hearing that on stream, but we've been having that going. Right now it's on the Honeybee Inn OST at the moment. What are your thoughts of the gameplay, the OST, characters, anything about that? The floor is yours. Let it out. That's what she said.
I have nothing to say about it. Nothing negative to say about it. I mean, it's right up my alley. I like everything about it. I like how the game looks. I like how it feels, how it sounds, how it plays. It's, I'm simping over this game. I know, but it's that good to me. So, the thing that stands out though, probably the combat. Just the fact that it's the press turn combat system that I like so much with a twist, formation system, and most importantly, the hybrid nature of the combat. So you can completely defeat enemies on field if they're lower level than you through action-based combat. And you have to enter a squad battle to get in a turn-based battle. I knew I was going to enjoy this system because I'm a turn-based fan for the most part.
Right.
I prefer games like Persona 5 Tactica than a Persona 5 Strikers. That's how I am. I like slow games. I like to think about my stuff. You know, I smoke when I play games, so I like my games to be slow. I don't want. I want to
methodical. You want to take your time and focus.
Exactly, relax and stuff. When Yakuza turn based, I was in, still am to this day. So I'm here for that. But the hybrid makes it even better. It takes it up a notch, in my opinion. The music from what we've heard is peak, but I knew it was going to be, so that's unsurprising. I mean, Megaro's awesome, and
always.
Anything that he
kills
touches,
it every time.
Exactly.
Every time.
We've heard some of his music sound very different than what we've heard in the obvious ones like Persona 3, 4, and 5. You know, we've heard what he did in Digital Devil Saga, for example. It's crazy good. I was not worried at all, but it's, again, mind-blowing how easily he made it work here for Metaphor. It sounds natural. It sounds awesome. So,
yeah.
Again,
he killed it. He killed it, honestly, Shoji Meguro. Like, every time. Doesn't matter what it is, he always makes an amazing OST. Every time.
Yep. Exactly.
Let me see. Cobra Commander says, sup here. Glad the podcast is back. Lurking. It's all good. VG Mobster Metaphor art style is gorgeous, just like Persona 5. Yes, I think the art style is gorgeous, but also, of course, the menu design. I think the menu design is also peak, as you'd expect, obviously, from Atlas. Like, when is there a game from them that doesn't have an amazing menu? Like, it's just perfect every time.
In the industry, there's a general consensus that no one makes better UI than Atlas. That's, or at least than the Persona team, right? So if obviously you play SMT5, it looks good, but it's not Reload, right? It's not Reload level good or Metaphor level good, you know? So
yeah. Now,
but they never miss.
one thing I wanted to mention actually, because I just mentioned the menus and the menu designs. Actually, Hashino earlier mentioned to IGN in an interview today, and also with The Verge, basically going over how the menu designs are and how he personally feels like it's annoying. He thinks they're really annoying to actually do. Said
that? The Meguro said that?
No,
Hashino
no,
said that.
yeah, Hashino.
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
specifically said word for word, when you open them up, there's a whole separate program running and a separate design that goes into it just to make their menus work.
Oh,
so that
they're
makes
annoying to create.
Yes, makes it very
I thought
annoying
he
to
was
create.
saying like, hey, when I play my own game, I'm like, hey, this is annoying. I was like, what? Okay, that makes more sense. Interesting.
At that point, he would just be like, this is too convoluted. Let's make a basic menu.
Nah, okay, well, I'm not surprised to hear that. I mean, these menus are insane and
Very intricate.
And no one comes close to making these styles of menus, so
And
unsurprising.
one thing I'm also I think I'm gonna try and send it to you real quick, so you can see it as well before I get into my thoughts of the demo. Did you see the Famitsu cover art that get released today?
Oh my god.
Did you?
Yes. It's insane.
It's so
that is a
clean.
10 out of 10 cover art. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I
So
wish I could
Jimmy never
have
did.
that. Oh my god! And for
You
those
can
who
actually, dude. You can pre-order on Amazon Japan Famitsu
really?
issues, and they get here super quick. Like if I were to pre-order it right now, I'd have it by next week, and I'm in Canada. Expensive for a magazine though. It ends up being like $29 Canadian for one magazine. So for
Right.
you, it would be like 18 or 19 USD, which it's not too bad, but it's kind of expensive for a magazine. It looks awesome. I got the one for SMT5,
Oh, you did.
and I got one for Soul Hackers 2.
Well, Soul
am
Hackers
debating.
2. I do want to mention. I'm not trying to take a stomp on Soul Hackers 2 real quick, but I saw someone mention that metaphor is the fourth pillar. I personally feel like, hot take,
It's the third.
yeah, metaphor is the third pillar.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. I mean, hey, I'm a Soul Hackers 2 enjoyer. I liked it a lot. I bought the
Yeah,
pre-order.
I'm not
but-
trying to shit on it. I'm just saying based on.
No, I hear you, and I think this is a crazy take. Like, it had no impact whatsoever for Atlas. Hardcore fans like myself liked it a lot. Like, especially if I know you're a Strange Journey fan too.
Yeah, dungeon
If you
crawling
like
that thing.
hardcore dungeon crawling, Soul Hackers 2 and the gameplay sense works so well.
Yep.
I think they nailed it with the story. Music and visuals don't necessarily hit as much as other games, but some of the characters are great. The writing's
Ringo,
great.
of course. Ringo's great.
Forever a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan of Soul Hackers 2 for sure. And you know what? That's a game that I wish they would go back to on Switch 2 and give us a complete edition of the game, because there is a DLC epilogue that no one gives a shit about. And if they bring back Soul Hackers 2 as a complete version on Switch 2, with how little people gave it attention when it first dropped, I think it has potential.
I agree.
Especially if you're early or something. I've seen this theory of someone saying like it was dumb. I don't remember who said that. I think it was on one of my shows actually, and the dude was like, "Hey, what if on Switch 2 there's like an Atlas Better Late Than Never compilation, and it's like Metaphor, Reload, Soul Hackers 2, and what was the
and they just
frames per second
announced them all.
SMT5.
They just announced them all at the Switch
collection.
presentation or something.
Makes no sense, but that would be crazy. Now I want complete edition of at least Reload and ReFantazio on Switch.
Reload, that's what I'm waiting for, honestly. That's the only Atlas game I haven't picked up this year. Because I literally want...
You have not,
Nope,
really?
because I want the episode with the game for, like, regular price. I'm not doing separate. I can't, personally.
I can't blame you. I mean, I was lucky enough to be provided with a code for the answer, and I made my video on it, and I have not touched it since. And I was honest in my video. I said it. I was like, hey, you guys, I'll be honest. Once I'm done with this video, I'm dropping this, and I'm going back to Infinite Wealth, and it's exactly what I did. Not because it was bad, because from what I've played, it seemed way better than the original, The Answer. It's just a lack of interest. If they bring it back on Switch 2, I would play it if I don't have to replay the story of Reload.
Right. That'd be good if you didn't have to play it, but unfortunately,
If
I
I
think
have
they're
to
gonna
replay it,
have
I'm
to.
good. I'm good. I'm not replaying Reload anytime soon.
You don't love Tartarus?
I do. For some reason, the loop is kind of fun, especially in Reload. It's fast enough. It has issues. I share the issues that you were about to bring up, I assume. But it's yeah, I wanna move on, and I have so much else to play. And life today isn't the same that it was back when, let's say, SMT5 dropped the original. I don't have as
Hell,
much time today
Even
as I
back
used
like
to.
when P3 first released 20 years ago.
Well, I had all the time in the world.
Right?
Buying games was an issue. Now it's the opposite. I have the money to afford all these
And
games,
now we don't
but
have the time.
I don't have time. So, priority right now is right now I'm playing the Smiling Man MEO on Switch. It's been great so far, but I chose that game specifically because I saw it's about 10 hours long,
It's
and
chill.
it's because I know I can play this next to Metaphor.
You can play it next to Metaphor. It's great because I actually been recently playing the original remakes for Famicom Detective Club 1 and 2. I'm going through The Missing Heir at the moment. That's why I didn't pick up MEO yet, because I want to at least finish those first. It's a great game to play, like you're just laying down on playing Switch, and it's the best game for that, 100%. And like you said, if you wanted to like hit a rip every now and then to play, like it
works well for that. Exactly. Now I've been enjoying MEO, and they sold me on it because it always looked interesting to me, and I was in the mood for a VN. But they sold me on it when Nintendo published a video with the producer of the game, and someone asked, because it was a Q&A video, and someone asked him, "Hey, do I have to play the original too?" Which the original 2 looked interesting to me, but I'm an old man. I wanted the physical. There were no physical, and there were other stuff coming out at the time, so I skipped them.
Yeah, the only physical is in Japan. It's the only way to get the physical for Famicom
Exactly, but
Detective
there's no
Club.
English on them, so
Yeah, no
I'd have
English
to
either.
import that plus buy them digitally, which
That's too
they're
much.
expensive too.
Yeah.
They're really expensive digitally. I don't know if you got some sort of deal on them, but they're expensive here in Canada.
In America, on the eShop, they had like a buy 2 deal, so I did that, like where it's bundled together.
I'm curious. I need to check how Famicom Detective. But I'm loving the MEO enough to go back to these 2 once they're cheap.
Right.
They have to be cheap for me to buy them digitally.
Even
so.
digitally, like normally digitally, I think they're $19.99. I think, maybe I think I seen it. It could be wrong.
I'm
Could be
pretty
39.
sure
Could,
it's more expensive than
could be
that.
It could be $39.99 right now, but like, I'm pretty sure I've seen it at $19.99 before.
I am on the official Canadian site for Nintendo. It's full priced, 60 for both.
Well, 60 for
30
both.
each.
Yeah, so 30 each. That's not that bad.
That's USD, by the way. In Canadian,
Oh yeah,
it's 80
90.
for both.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a lot
80
more.
plus tax, so it's
Yeah, so
almost
it's like
100
$90.
bucks for both.
$100
so
for sure. That's not good.
yeah, if it were cheaper, I would get it for sure.
All right. Before I mention
well.
my thoughts real quick on Metaphor, because I do want to mention some of my thoughts of the demo
course.
that we went through. The chat's been booming, and shout out to all 11 of you we have watching right now. If you've been enjoying the stream, hit the like button. Check out my friend David Cash RPGs if you haven't already. He's already been on the podcast here before, so you already know. The link is in the description. And I want to say shout out to everyone who's here. Cobra Commander, thank you for coming through. Yo, Nexo, shout out for coming through. Captain Chaz, appreciate you being here. Nexo says, it makes no sense. Must be a Sega Atlas idea. I don't know about that one. What was that in reference to, Nexo? And Captain Chaz says, Metaphor is the last game I am buying at launch from Atlas due to the DLC issue of Reload. Well, that's the good thing, Captain Chaz. To my knowledge, I don't think there's a DLC issue for Metaphor. Like how P3 had an issue and SMT5 had an issue. Like those had issues, in my opinion. But I still bought SMT5 because I love SMT. So like I was not missing out on SMT5. Vanilla, I was not missing out. I still have my what was it called? Fall of Man edition or premium edition?
Fall of Man edition.
It was
yes,
the Fall of Man. Yep, I still
yeah.
have mine, and that's a collector's item that I wish I never opened for a YouTube video.
You know what, Captain Chaz? I mean, I am not going anyone. I'm not going against anyone like you saying that they're like I'm buying this once the last time because of re-releases, because of DLC. Because you're right. I mean, I I like this company and what they do enough to double dip most of the time, but it's a pain in the ass even for a huge fan like myself. So I can't blame you at all. I really can't. And I know this is gonna be a problem for Atlas at some point because I know you said it yourself. There's no DLC problem for Metaphor
Yeah,
for now.
for now.
Nothing tells us that they're not gonna announce DLC tomorrow or something. It wouldn't shock me at all. Probably not tomorrow, but it wouldn't shock me if they have post-launch DLC for Metaphor, and then in 3 or 4 years you have a royal version. It wouldn't shock me, and people know that, and for that reason, a lot of people are skipping it. They're like, "Hey, I'm waiting for the royal version." I've read that comment so many times. And
Is there a royal version of Reload coming?
We don't know anything. We don't know, but I mean,
Like Royal
so many of
Reload?
these games get these re-releases that can you blame them? No,
True.
you can't. I mean,
It makes people be hesitant on buying the game day one, and it's understandable.
Exactly.
It is, honestly.
plus these people, the Atlas and Sega, it's half off in a month or two max. So you can get. You said you skipped Reload. I'm sure you can get Reload
Black
for half off
Friday,
today.
yep. Black Friday definitely half off in America. I know it's gonna be at least $49.99 with DLC.
Exactly. So I am a huge fan, so I buy these games day one. But don't feel forced. If the game looks cool, put it in your watch list or something, and get back to it in a few months when you have some free time on your hand. That would be my recommendation. So,
Right.
and there's some re-releases that are huge problems. Some others aren't that bad, but you know, when you drop a Persona 5 Royal at full price with no upgrade path, no way to transfer your save data,
That part annoyed
and
me so much when Royal first came out.
and pay DLC for the re-release, you are a scum
Yeah.
bag. You are. Okay, so I again
bag
am
full
not
of scum.
blaming anyone. Jonathan is saying here in the chat, if people can wait, I'm sure Switch 2 will get the complete edition of most of these games.
Yep.
Exactly. I've read that a lot of times too. Hey, there's so much stuff coming out this year that I am gonna play freaking Echoes of Wisdom, and
Yeah.
I'll get back to these Atlas games when they release on Switch 2. They will. And the Yakuza games will too.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the next logical step for Sega. So I understand, and I'm part of the problem. So that's why I'm not attacking any of these people.
Yeah.
Totally fair complaint.
Let me see. Capchat says 10 hours. That's too short for a visual novel at full price. Not making that purchase. Well, if it's cheaper, that makes it more affordable. More better to pick up at that point.
It's not full price though. Emio, it's not. I paid in USD it would be 50. If Emio's 50, it's not full price.
Oh, So 50, yeah. So it should be fine then. 50, it should be okay. For 2 games,
It's expensive for a 10-hour visual novel. It's on the expensive side, but the first party developed and published first, you know, Nintendo. There's a
Right.
physical version. I could justify it, but I think that is another fair complaint.
I
But
think
I'm
so.
here day one with Ace Attorney 7 at 60 or even 70. I don't give a fuck about that.
I love Ace Attorney, but I can't lie. I have been slacking on picking up those games. I know I'm supposed to be talking about my thoughts of the prologue demo, but like I just wanted to mention real quick. I did not pick up the 2 recent collections of Ace Attorney because I'm still trying to finish the Great Ace Attorney collection.
They're long. They really are. But take your time, dude. There's no worries. Same thing for Capcom. These games get a price drop fairly quickly. And
Yeah.
now the games that you played are shorter. So 1, 2, and 3 are very short. 4 is kind of short. 5 and 6 are long.
Yeah.
But the longest are the Great Ace Attorney 1 and 2. Those I spent over, I think it's about 40 hours each.
Yeesh. Okay, yeah, that makes sense why it's taking a while.
Yeah. But they're good. They're good, but they're long. Too long, if I'm being honest.
I feel that. That was how I felt about Rebirth. But Metaphor, let me just go into this now.
Yes,
That
sir. I wanna hear your
demo-
thoughts.
I'm going to go about this with how I originally thought about it when I first started the demo and what I thought at the end of the demo. The first hour to an hour and a half is the classic Atlas, let you know what's going on, backstory, normal, usual thing of Atlas.
Is it too slow?
In
I
my
wanna hear your
in
take
my
on this.
opinion, it felt exactly the same as Persona 5 and 4. So to me, it felt
Oh,
the
it's too
same.
slow.
Yeah, it felt the same.
Okay.
That's my thoughts
I'm
on that.
confused. I'm confused. I was asked this before, and I kind of want to agree with what you said, but I'm unsure yet. Especially you mentioned P5. P5 is the rough one in my opinion. P5 is way too handholdy. But again, I played the demo of Metaphor 3 times if you count the NYC one.
Right.
The third time, yes, it drags. It drags on. I think the excitement was too high for me when I played it for my first 2 times. Third time was
The third
yes,
time, let me guess, what platform was it on the third time? Was that the Xbox?
I played Xbox Series X at New York.
Or
I played PlayStation 5 live on my channel.
yeah,
And
I
I
saw
did
that.
Xbox
Yeah.
Series S for my third playthrough.
Now, since you played it on X and S, what'd you think about the quality? So I do want to know what you thought about the difference, if you felt that there's a difference.
Disclaimer, I suck hardcore at these performance things. I don't notice frame drops that well. I have a hard time seeing problems with games that people say are running like ass. Like, I can see some stuff, but the original SMT5, so many people said it's so bad, and I've even heard unplayable and all that stuff. This is a game that I can see the frame drops and the pop-ins, but I can 1000% enjoy it. I think it's perfectly enjoyable, and I chose Switch for my Vengeance playthrough. So that's the type of guy I am, just to make that clear.
And
Now,
that's what I was surprised about. I was surprised you chose the Switch version for Vengeance, especially after the original was exclusive originally for just
exactly,
Switch.
but that's one that you can clearly see the differences. It's next side by side. It's explosive. It looks way better on PlayStation and Xbox, you know. Now for Metaphor Series S, I can see the resolution bump. You can see that pretty easily on X. It looks better than on S, but it still looks really good on S. The anti-aliasing is even less noticeable on Series S than on X, and in the city, there's more frame drops on Series S than X. Very playable, and it looks fine. It runs fine. If you want to get it on Series S and you're not someone who counts frames, you're gonna have a good time with it. It's totally playable and totally good experience. If that's what we get on Switch too, I'll play it there again for sure. Totally fine with that.
And that's what I want to get into. The art style. I love the way the art style looks in game. Like when you're actually like moving around in game, it makes me think of what Fire Emblem Three Houses tried to do, but failed. Because graphically, that game looks
that's
ugly.
Well said. That's really well said. What's the problem with Treehouse's look? When I played it, I was like, I want to like how it looks, but there's something. There's a problem somewhere,
Yeah.
but I couldn't tell what the issue was. Sorry, I like the character design a lot, but there's something. I think it's the environments.
Yeah, the way the environments were
Engage looks way
designed,
better.
they just weren't to the level they should be at.
Exactly. Engage looks way better, in my opinion.
I agree. And yo, huge shouts to Rudy coming through subscribing. I really appreciate that. Thank
Hey.
you. Let's go. And yeah, the art style, I think it goes well with the Switch, like the way the art style is. So I feel like if it comes out on Switch 2, it will look great on Switch 2, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%.
One thing I want to mention as well, I love the setting, the city, the world
Yeah.
map, the layouts of each area. They're very different. Each area you go into, the desert area, the little catacombs and the caves, the mushrooms, back to the city. I think that's one of the big things about this game that I love is the way it encompasses the setting and how it plays a big role into the story.
So much more to come too, man.
I know. I have to wait a few more days for that, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, the 11th.
Well, a lot more's coming. If you had to pick one thing that you're like, hey, this stands out and this is my favorite thing at the moment for Metaphor, what would it be? Would it be the setting or something else?
It's definitely the setting. 100%.
The setting? Okay.
The setting
That's a good
is
pick.
100%
That's a really good
my
pick.
pick. It's not the gameplay, but I don't mean that for bad. I like the gameplay a lot. Just when I first experienced the game, the first thing I thought of was Persona. And obviously, the game is supposed to have elements of Persona and SMT to create the world that it is, the fantasy world that we're in. I guess when I first tried the demo, though, my mind process was, Atlas is trying to create a new RPG, a new pillar, something different. and instead it's all the things that we like about Persona and SMT as a game with a brand new setting and story that's different from what they're used to. And I think it's allowed them to try new things while doing a lot of the things that they do best and create what we have here, the magnum opus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So absolutely
yeah. So
good pick.
thank you. How about you though? What was your favorite, your highlight? What
You have a very good answer, but for me, the one thing that made me smile every time is the voice protagonist.
mm.
I like
English
him so
dub?
much.
English dub?
Ah,
Because I've
yes,
heard the
of
English
course.
dub like that's why I've been playing. I've been playing the English dub.
Yes,
That's
it's awesome. I like it a lot. But the fact that the protagonist is voiced is great, and he's really charming so far. I'm a big fan, so that is a standout for me. Every time that he talks, I'm like, oh yeah, he's voiced. That's so cool.
it fits
You
him
don't.
perfect, by
It's
the way.
been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been since Soul Hackers 2, actually. But again, because that game didn't hit as much, Ringo was great.
She was a great pro tag. It's funny still that to this day, like she was never meant to be the pro tag. It's like if Hulkenberg became the pro tag in metaphor. That's literally another great comparison.
I like Olkenberg too. I mean,
She's
all
the
the
goat.
characters
She's
are
the
good
goat,
for-
honestly. I think she's and Stroll. I think that's how
Stroll is fantastic too, man. Like
I
if
love
all the
Stroll.
all the party members are that great,
they're likable.
we're
All
in
three
for
of
a
them.
treat.
Yeah.
All of them. Yeah.
Oh, and of course, Grius. I'm not going to mention what else happened in the prologue demo, but all I'm going to say is Grius literally carried me throughout the streams that I was doing on YouTube covering the demo. He literally carried me, saved me from battles. I made him a mage, and he was killing it. And they were killing him. So it's like,
Yeah. I'm gonna make the protagonist the mage in my main playthrough. I just decided that. I'll try that.
I'm not going to lie, he was killing it. He was on point. Like,
Oh,
Stroll.
I did the same thing in all my playthroughs.
Oh,
He
yeah?
was a mage too. So,
Really?
yeah, because you unlock mage with him on board.
So you
like,
just
you're for,
makes
exactly.
sense.
So it's kind of natural. Everyone does that. But for my real playthrough, I'm gonna do that. Now my PlayStation 5 version is where I want to do my main playthrough, and I'm not even done with the demo in this one.
Really.
So yeah. So I'm gonna go back to it kind of soon-ish, since I'm gonna receive my collector's edition soon. At least I hope so.
Yeah, I was gonna actually mention it real quick. I've seen a lot of people getting that special box package from Atlas. Have you seen a lot of what's in that package? I haven't seen too much from that Metaphor ReFantazio package from
I
like people who
received it
posted
earlier
it.
today.
Mm.
Yeah, it's right there actually.
I that's you know what? I thought it looked like it, but I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? That could be Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I didn't share it yet. I didn't have time to, but it's freaking awesome. The main thing that they put in there is this bad boy. So it's a Blue Yeti mic with the logo in
Oh,
front.
the logo? Yo.
Yeah,
I need a
which
new
I think is
Yeti.
cool. Pop filter with the heart here.
Nice.
So from the Awakening scene, there is the gigantic box on my glass shelf there. They gave us 3 keychains. So one for the logo. No, 4, sorry. One for the logo, one which looks like the book or the box, an Atlas logo, and a Sega logo. They gave us a coat, which, well, I can show it. One sec.
Yeah, why not? A little exclusive. An exclusive to everyone who's here.
This shirt looks really cool.
Yo, is that like a long sleeve like crew neck shirt?
Check this out, though.
Yo, it has all the pictures.
It's really, really sick.
Yo, that has Hulkenberg. It has the pro tag, all the silhouettes on the inside of that coat, man. That's sick.
And there's the protagonist's bag as well.
Oh man,
It's really cool.
that is cool. Yo, that's sick.
Yeah, so I was lucky enough. I was at my door, in front of my door, 2 hours ago, actually. So I was stoked to see
Did you
that.
know, or were you just like, oh my god?
Yeah,
Atlas?
I knew, but early this year they did one for Reload, which was sick too. It was this gigantic box. They had this bag here as well, and they had these wireless Sony headphones, and it was written the logo was on there, like P3 Reload on each, and I was like, this is so sick. $400 headphones. They asked for my address, sent it, and everything. for some reason people started to receive it, and I was like, hey, where's mine? And I messaged them and I was like, hey, yo, where's mine? And it looks sick. Where's mine? And they were like, oh, sorry, there was not enough stock, and we don't have one for you. And I was like,
damn, teardrop.
Created expectations here, and I'm the expectations guy, you know.
Oh, Mr. Expectations. I'm Mr. Hot Takes. You're Mr. Expectations.
Exactly. So I was expecting my package. So for this one, I kept my expectations in check. I was like, okay, they said they would send me one. I'm gonna keep my expectations in check. People started to receive it last week, and I was like, I don't have it. I don't have the tracking. I was like, no, not again. Messaged the clerk there that works there. They were super helpful, and it's like, hey, here's your tracking. Just forgot to send it your way. So I was like, oh, thank God, because I'm way more excited for this than I were for Reload. So
of course,
these boxes are cool. They're nice. To do this is cool. So
yeah, especially the Yeti. Like, I think that is the most surprising out of everything in the package, just because for all like the other packages that I've seen, just in general, that hasn't really been a thing, like a microphone.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is probably the best. Yeah, it's the best box yet that I got. So I was fortunate enough to get one for Soul Hackers 2 and for Persona 5 Royal when it became Multiplat. The P5R one was certainly the next best one that I got because it had this fully customized Xbox controller with like P5R decals on it and a charging station, P5R charging station for the controller size, and all of that boxed. So I have a box for that too, fully customized.
So I assume it's like black and red, like the dock and the controller and everything.
Yeah, like, I can show you that too if you want. 1 second.
Yeah, you might as well. And yo, shout out. Shadow King says I'm an Atlas fraud. Haven't even touched the demo. Yo, touch the demo now. Play the demo. And yo, I heard you finished Like a Dragon. I hope you enjoyed Infinite Wealth.
Kind of a mess to get the boxes out, but the controller and charging station were close by. So
yo, that's actually clean. Like,
yeah, it's really sick. Bro. Plus, you have that charging station too. So I don't play Xbox and I don't play PC, so they're both like
a collector's item. Yeah.
But, yeah, basically, but such a cool one though.
Honestly, it's the coolest Xbox controller I've seen. Xbox has all these different like controllers and designs, but that's literally the coolest I've seen, and it's the first time I've seen it.
And well, obviously the best thing that I got is they gave me the protagonist's book from Metaphor at NYC.
Yeah, that part. I remember you showing me the book. You showed me the book.
I showed you that, but I didn't share that on socials. Yeah, that is the most special item in my collection by far because it is hand signed by Hoshino, Sojima, and Meguro. So obviously, when I received that, I was like, well, that is by far the best thing that I own now in my collection. So it's definitely a prized possession.
I'd imagine you were like, thank you.
Oh, yeah. The dude with the Sega employee there was like, hey, this is a thank you from these three people, and they wanted you to have the book. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. And it's like, you can open it. And I opened it. And I was like, bruh. First thing that I looked for is like, is it copied? Is it photocopied? Nope. It's hand signed. All signatures and all the books that we had there were a little different. So that was awesome. And he was like, hey, it's a notebook. If you want to use it, you can. I was like, I started laughing. I was like, you think I'm gonna use this? Nope, it's going in a glass shelf.
Yeah,
sure.
I would never use the book. What?
It was mostly a joke. He knew that we were all
there's no way. No, like that'd be like someone getting like that microphone and like actually using it.
Exactly. Well, that's less problematic. It's just a little logo, but my mic I think is even better than this one. So this one's gonna go in the glass shelf. So, yeah. But I've heard it's a good mic though. It's kind of expensive.
I have it. It's
that's
right here.
The one that you have. Well, it sounds really good. So
I appreciate it. My friend was clowning me the other day, like, "Yo, what's wrong with your mic?" I'm like, "It's not me. It's you."
It sounds good. It sounds good. Mine is a Shure MV7.
Oh,
is what I use.
Shure is a good brand. I used to rock Rode. Rode was my brand. I used to rock a lot. Their microphones are really good, especially when I made music a lot. Like that was best quality for recording vocals.
Yeah, I should probably get the right core for it and do adjustments and stuff because I know it can perform way better than it does the way I use it.
It's pretty good quality though. It's pretty good quality, honestly.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I've been using this one for probably close to 3 years now. So it's
Yeah.
been treating me well.
Well, for those who are watching the stream, we got another 10 more minutes of today's episode of the broadcast. And I appreciate everyone who's here for the return. I know a lot of you have been enjoying the stream. I'm going to get into the chat real quick. If you guys have any questions for me and David about Metaphor ReFantazio, whether it's the demo, the thoughts of the Metacritic scores, or anything in between, here's the time to ask us any questions for the next 10 minutes. And I'm going to go over some of the chat real quick. I'm thinking Metaphor is a prequel to the P345 timeline. It seems more is the butler when he was much younger, Captain Chad says. I'm not sure about that.
Talking about Igor, I assume.
I think so. Igor, maybe. Maybe they meant Igor.
I think that's a big stretch, but I can see why you would think that. We don't have enough clues to think that's the case yet, but I wouldn't be shocked if there is some sort of tease or link there. So I have not seen that myself, but yeah, interesting theory though. First time hearing it.
Yeah, me too. I never heard that one yet. And then St. Lou said, we need the Switch 2. Yes, for the Soul Hackers 2
with that, by the
definitive
way?
everything. Oh, what's going on
What
with
the
it?
fuck is it? I mean, I've been following news for that for a long time. There's daily rumors and
Well,
leaks
well,
about
here's
it, but-
all you need to know. All you need to know is anyone who's been posting videos at all about it, wasting their time. Anyone who thought it was coming out last month, wasted their time. It's coming this
out
month.
last month.
It's
The reveal?
it's definitely this month because the Switch
think so?
the Switch was revealed in October of 2016.
I remember. Yeah, of
And then
course.
in January
was
of
so
2017,
excited.
yeah, and then in January of
January was the
2017
event.
was SNT5 when it was first revealed.
Exactly.
So
Mhm.
like, the fact that anyone thought it was happening last month, of course it wasn't. Like it was either gonna be a direct or nothing, and we got nothing. So
the one thing I thought the reveal would be last month because of what they did, like pushing forward the partner showcase and indie direct thing was
Right.
kind of odd. So I was like, hey, probably happening this month before Tokyo Game Show. Makes sense and all. Nope. But at least we got the PS5 Pro, am I right?
the PS5 Pro, the $700 USD, not including the disc drive, not including PS Plus, not including the vertical stand, not including a single game included. That's like 1,100 Canadian.
It's more. If you take all of that, it's more than that. The system itself is 960 Canadian plus tax, which is roughly
That's
$1,100.
That's actually
Plus
already.
the $100 hard drive. You're at $1,300.
So where do I sell my kidney?
worthless. Pretty much. I have
That's
no
insane.
desire at all to get that platform. Zero desire at all. It's dumb. I don't need it. My PS5 runs just fine. So
Yo, shouts to HDK, the one and only bro. Let's go.
yo.
Coming through with the $2 super chat. Says, what up? Yo, you just went on Steam with Sparking Zero. It popped up on the corner of the screen right here. So that's what I'm about to be doing later tonight, bro. We're gonna be playing.
Nice.
Yeah, me and HDK, we got the Steam version. So we'll be playing
Nice.
on that. Yeah, there's no crossplay,
HDK.
unfortunately. There's no crossplay. So me and
King.
HDK, we're gonna be playing by ourselves, and King is just gonna be not playing with us. for
He's
now.
on PlayStation, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sad day.
And I'm nowhere to be found. Hey, you know what? I am a very casual Dragon Ball fan. I watched the original anime, I watched Dragon Ball Z, and I read Dragon Ball Z,
Right.
and I started to watch GT, but I dropped it during GT. But I liked everything that I played Budokai Tenkaichi 2 and 3, and I played my favorite one was actually Tenkaichi Tag Team on PSP, I think is the name.
Yeah, that's a side game from the
Tenkaichi
Tenkaichi
Tag-
series, which, by the way,
It's really good.
Sparking Zero is literally Tenkaichi.
I know. Exactly, which is why I was gonna say I am going to buy it once it's super cheap because I
Of
don't have
course,
time to play it anyway.
it's
so-
gonna be very cheap because I personally want to get a physical version, of course.
Oh, me too.
So like, I'm waiting for that to by next Black Friday, not this Black Friday, but the next Black Friday.
It'd be like 30 or something, maybe even 20.
Hell yeah, that's the hope. 1999 would be nice. Decepticon says, Metroid Prime 4 Switch 2 launch title or nah? Uh, Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think it's launching day one with the Switch 2. I
I
think
think they wanted day one, but I'm not sure.
I think it's totally like a holiday title or a summer release. It's not gonna be a if it comes out in the spring, like let's say Switch 2 comes out in spring, just like the regular Switch did. I definitely see it being summer or holiday. It's no way in hell gonna be a launch title. It'd be nice,
Right.
but I think that's way too like hardcore. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like not to say Breath of the Wild wasn't hardcore, but like that was able to cater to multiple audiences. It was the biggest Zelda game ever. Like so, I think it's totally a totally different ball game with Metroid.
We'll see. I think they definitely want the 3D Mario at launch, but I think they also want Metroid at launch. So I don't know. We'll
Of
see.
course, like I love Metroid Prime, but I'm just saying personally, I don't see it. It'd be cool though, but I don't see it.
I don't really care. I'm not into Metroidvanias at all. I tried to get into Prime on GameCube. I tried again with the Switch release, and they're not for me.
Shadow King wants to know if you'd want to get into an Atlas themed PS5 Pro though. You love the PS5 Pro, right? The price? Who wouldn't love
Yes,
it?
but special edition systems are not
Worth
that
it.
huge for me.
I think they're not
So-
worth it personally.
Well, I understand the appeal. They're not necessarily my thing though, so probably not at that price at the moment. No, I think I would skip it, to be honest.
Yo, shouts out 14 of you watching the stream right now. Thank you for coming through. We're gonna continue going through the rest of the chat real quick. Captain Chaz says, nah, I don't think so. Switch 2, holiday 2025. I don't see an announcement coming until July. We're definitely gonna get an announcement before July 2025. Like, what? There's no other games coming out for the regular Switch after Brothership. Like, Brothership, I
Yeah.
think, is the last game, not including Fitness Boxing, because obviously Fitness Boxing is made by Nintendo, and that's coming out in December. Yes, there's 12 games coming out by Nintendo. No one's playing Fitness Boxing except my friend, like, Taj, Boss Naffy, Bippy Bro. That's the only other person that's playing that game.
You forgot Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Is it
Oh,
Tropical
yeah.
Freeze? No, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Returns. Yes,
Full
yes.
price 60 in January. But after that, we have no idea what's coming, which is
I keep trying to
I've
forget
heard
that.
this theory of someone saying Switch 2 reveal is going to be in February, and this month we're going to have a general direct, and I was like, this makes no sense. We're not getting a general direct
No.
in October in the middle of the holiday season.
We're not getting
That
a
makes-
general direct for, like, till spring at this point.
Probably, yeah.
Like, there's not gonna be, like, a winter one. Like, that's never really been a thing, so... Maybe, like, that showcase thing, like we mentioned before, like how the Switch had the trailer reveal and then the presentation, that is still a thing, in my opinion. That's possible, but...
I hope they do the same exact thing, bro.
Me too.
Just
I'm hoping.
reveal it this week, and more to come on January 10th at 10 a.m. East.
And at
And then
that
you
show,
drop an hour
that's when,
showcase.
and at that show, Atlas is going to
Atlas
come
shows
out
up.
with all 4 of those definitive editions. Soul Hackers 2, P3 Reload, Vengeance, and everything. Just everything possible, because just put it out.
Atlas is showing up with 1 minimum, but I'm expecting 2. Probably Reload and ReFantazio.
Right. I can see that too, honestly, 100%.
Pokemon Legends too, yep, for sure.
Legends Arceus 2 would be nice.
Well, there's Legends AZ, is it?
Oh, that's what it's called. AZ. What am I saying? Legends
think.
Arceus 2. That yeah, it's Legends of the Za.
Oh, Zaz, Z-A, okay.
Legends of Za. Oh, but Gold Hunter says, in my opinion, Switch 2 is coming out March 2025.
That would be awesome.
I'd love that. However,
That's best case scenario. What we described plus a March 2025 date.
best case scenario. Literally just
Because
recreating it.
I'm day one for Switch 2, even though I know there's no. If it's 3D Mario at launch, I don't care for it. But I'm still gonna buy
No,
the system
listen.
day one.
For me, that's when I bought the Switch, because like my friends got the Switch when Breath of the Wild came out,
Breath of the Wild,
and
me
that's
too.
when I dived into playing it with them. I got my own Switch when Mario Odyssey came out, and then I beat the game twice, 999 moons, twice.
I beat it.
I went back since though. I went back since, but that
I
game
don't
is
have
so
enough
good.
time for these games, these styles of games anymore. I'll be honest. If it comes out in March, with a Mario 3D platformer and nothing else for me, great, because it's going to be backwards compatible, which is, let's be honest, the number
Most
one
important.
priority.
Yep.
Exactly, and I have a huge Switch backlog, so I'm going to be working my way through that on Switch too.
Oh,
That's
and
my goal.
I still have to send you a picture of my
Yes. Yeah, that's
Dude,
right.
I
We said
literally
that. I forgot about that.
I literally like have it like set up in drawers, obviously. So I'll send you a picture later tonight
Yeah.
for that for
I'd like
sure.
that. I like to see
I'll send the Switch one first because like there's like the way I organize my drawer. Like there's obviously all my games organized, and then I have like a couple controllers on top of stuff. So I just gotta move that out just to show the library. But yo, shout out to everyone who's here. Nexus says Pokemon Za, Going Hunter with the laughing face. And then Shadow King says, I'm skipping DBZ Sparking Zero. For me, it's just yet another drywall fighting game. To me, it's like, well, I'm going to just mention Spike Chunsoft are technically the ones that made the game, not Bandai Namco. They published it. Spike Chunsoft is known for AI the Somnium Files. They're known for a lot of different games.
They developed it?
Yes, I found out about that yesterday. So, like, when I found out, I was like, So, you'll all just have to play it, in my opinion. That's how I feel, because like I'm like, oh, they made it. I love Spike Chunsoft, but when was the last time they made one of these? You know what I mean? So, hey, it's got great reviews though. It's at an 84 on Metacritic for an arena fighter. That's good enough. It wasn't going to be nominated Game of the Year, but it's going to sell like Wukong, so and
It
sell
is
like Hogwarts.
very good. Yeah.
I'm going to read the last couple more comments, then we're going to wrap up the stream. Thank you all so much for being here, yo. And yo, HCDK Shout says, I'm 2 seconds into Sparking Zero, and it's already Game of the Year. Obviously, like, playing it, we're going to say it's Game of the Year. And yo, HCDK, I'm going to be playing Sparking Zero on stream later tonight, so we're definitely going to play. St. Lou says, I won't get the copy till tomorrow. Oh, for Sparking Zero? Oh, man. It's definitely be one of my favorite games of the year. Honestly, a lot of my favorite games this year have been on PlayStation or Steam, for the most part.
It's been slow on Nintendo, so same here, man.
Yeah. The start of the year, they were doing pretty well with the Switch, but like, because like I liked Mario vs. Donkey Kong, like you know, some of those smaller games that I do like. After
like Paper
1000 Year
Mario.
Tour, yeah, after Paper Mario, it was just
We're
Echoes
still
of Wisdom.
playing it right now. We're on the last star.
Oh,
actually.
nice.
First time beating that game, dude. I dropped it when I was younger. I started to play it. I was like, it's cool, it's charming, but I moved on from something else
Right.
for some reason. We're beating it this time around, though. Almost done with it.
Sick, man. I literally loved the remake of 1000 Year Door. It was such a great game.
It's well done. Simple, but it works.
It is. Captain Chat says Nintendo needs a world-ending, exploding game for me to consider a Switch 2 purchase. I have a gaming PC and a Steam Deck. Consoles are dead to me. Honestly, I know a lot of people that feel that way, but at the end of the day, Nintendo's gonna just keep putting things on consoles.
I care for a lot of first-party Nintendo stuff, though. I care for Zelda, Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, anything Monolith Soft, really, Intelligent System, Advance Wars, Famicom Detective,
Pokemon,
Smash Bros.
As I nod my head in pain, as that series is just, it's just not good anymore. It's not. But I'm still trying. I'm still hoping. I still want to be the best, like no one ever was.
Dude, I tried to keep going with Pokemon. I really tried, man.
Scarlet and Violet is not worse than Sword and Shield, but it's still not good.
The final game that I was excited for at launch is extremely excited for at launch was Heart Gold Soul Silver. But the last one that I really bought at launch, being kind of excited for it, was Sun and Moon. I tried Sword and Shield, I tried Legends Arceus, and I tried the Gen 4 Remake 2. So I really tried, but these three I dropped.
You went in because like the Gen 4
I tried,
remake
but I
is oh god, that game sucks.
But I like Gen 4 a lot. That's why I bought it.
Of course. But I love Platinum,
that's my
so
favorite
like
gen
that's
at
my
this point,
issue. Because like
Platinum is really good. I still own it. I still
know.
own all of them actually on DS, GBA. I have gold complete in box on Game Boy Color, but I don't have the red and blue.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately for me, I wish I still had a lot of my original copies of those games. I don't, sadly, for most of them.
Yeah, I sold them too, but I restarted collecting in high school. Rebought most of them when we could find deals on Marketplace. I found a lot of deals back then on Marketplace Facebook.
Yeah,
But
there's good
nowadays
deals
you
there.
can't find shit anymore on this thing. There's resellers everywhere and they're super fast, so you can't make it work. But you used to, and I bought a lot of gems that I owned that way. So
All right, and then we have a couple more comments left here. We have 4 more. We have Nexo says Spike Chunsoft made Fossil Fighters. So Fossil Fighters is basically it's basically a niche Nintendo series. It's a Nintendo IP
really
that Spike Chunsoft developed.
interesting. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
basically.
Yes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on DS, and I believe there's a 3DS sequel that's like stuck in Japan. But if I recall, I watched like a giant video about all of the niche series that are made by Nintendo, like
Oh.
like that game for example, and then there's also Tomato Adventure, and there's also a game
Yeah,
called
I remember you telling me about that.
yeah, and then there's a game called Napoleon, literally based on like Napoleon, like the war guy that Nintendo made, like an RPG similar to like Fire Emblem on. Yeah, deadass. So I'm gonna
Oh, it's
try that out
localized, I
sometime.
assume?
It wasn't, but there is an English translation, so I do want to stream it sometime. I have it, so I'm preserving it. I'm preserving its existence. And the last few comments here, we got Shadow King says, it just doesn't excite me, and people are saying they're not getting Metaphor because of Sparking Zero. And I'm like, why? Fighting games have a shorter shelf life than RPGs unless you play online. Honestly, both of those games are going to sell really well. In 6 months, they're going to be on sale at some point. Like,
Mhm.
I think they're different genres, as me and David clarified, so they're separate. Like, it's hard for one to be cannibalizing the other, you know what I mean? So I don't
Right.
think that's gonna be a problem.
I agree.
Captain Chad says, I didn't truly enjoy a single first-party Nintendo game that's outside of Scarlet and Violet. The best Pokemon's been in decades. If the game ran good, I would agree, but it does not run good at all. It makes my eyes bleed. And Chalice says there can only be one Metaphor. This is from Roman Reigns, like wrestling. We the ones. Metaphor. Come on, David. We the ones. Metaphor. Let's go. Game
Ready
of the
for it.
year. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
And then hopefully. And Deception with the last comment of the stream tonight says, I haven't been hyped for a Pokemon game in forever, to be honest. I more or less moved on from the franchise. That's why I play other games, but like, come on, like it's like one of those things where like if you're born playing something, then you just have an attachment to it. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I was born with Pokemon in hands. Like I played all these games growing up, and
yeah,
I still own and play Pokemon XD on GameCube and stuff.
Oh,
So
that's
I
such a
consider
good
myself I used to be a big fan, but these new
tough.
games, I can't care for them. Sadly, collected the TCG cards for years, so I really used to be big into these, but
Yeah. Well,
gotta move on. That's why I kept trying and trying and trying, but they disappointed time and time and time again. So
and
moved on.
hopefully there's other people out there that need to move on and they could play great RPGs like the ones made by Atlas and not the ones
Right.
made by Square that are trying to be something that they're not.
hey, I want to give it a shot. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I want to make my own opinion for Rebirth. But you said you were huge into the remake. I
Love the
wasn't.
remake.
Honestly.
I loved it. I loved the remake.
To me,
actually.
remake was a 7.5 out of 10.
I gave it like an 8.5 if I recall.
So
Yeah.
if Rebirth isn't as good, Rebirth's
It's not.
probably
It's a
gonna be
6.5 it's
or
a 7. It's a 7 for me at most. Like a generous 7. Like I literally wrote in my review. I said multiple times I fucking hate this game. Like I hate this game. Like while playing. Like that's how much
That's
it's pissed me off.
problematic. Crazy.
It is.
Oh well.
You know, shout outs though to everyone who's watching the stream, and thank you once again, bro, for coming through to this
Pleasure's all
episode, the
mine.
return of the broadcast. I was telling you
Yes,
we were gonna
sir.
bring it back in person. We'll do that one day though, 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hell
Let's make
yeah.
it happen.
Definitely, man. And I want you guys to all check out the homie David. I have the link still in the YouTube description, and I posted it in the chat. I'll post it again right now. Typing ASMR. If you want to just talk to the chat real quick, let them know where they can find you, and I'll put the link in.
Of course, thank you so much for having me on, man. You can find me on YouTube at DavidCast JRPGs. or on Twitter, but you know, who cares about Twitter? At DavidCast6917 on Twitter. So, but yeah, appreciate you guys joining us tonight. It was fun. Thank you. Cool chatting with you as always. Don't forget to send me a pic of your shelves of games.
Yeah, my shelves of drawers full of games organized.
All the games.
But yeah, no, definitely. We'll definitely get that going. I'll send it to you in a couple minutes. And yo, for those who are watching the stream, and if you are new, it's been V-Sips. This has been a great episode of the broadcast. I'm glad to have it back. We'll have it back every so often whenever we have a great episode lined up with an awesome guest lined up. A great friend of mine, David, today. Thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it. We're going to go into the credit sequence for the stream now. And thank you to Such John. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and cheers. And thanks for saying it was a great show. For those who are watching, I am streaming Sparking Zero later tonight. Give me like a half hour and I'll set that up. But yeah, David,
Nice.
I'm
Have a
about
good time.
Thank you, man, and I'll see you later, man. Take care, bro.
Yes, sir. Take care, man. Bye.
Peace. Have a good one, everyone. We about to get into some Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, bro. Y'all better be ready for this. Have a good one, yo. Peace.
And keep 100 real true, ayy, 100%, 100% coming in the jag, you know we keep it 100 proof, no we gotta keep it 100 real true, ayy, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, I always grind, 100%, I always rhyme. 100%, 100%, I always grind, 100%.
Bricks on back anytime on the track. We never slack, we always on attack. We got the pack in the back of the lack. Beyond the jag, all black, no Kodak. Putting cardiac, my rhymes on my neck. It's sips brick season, this how we react. Days long, night, use insomniac. Count each block and each rack that we both stack. Ay.
100%, 100%, 100%, 100%.
Oh, and I didn't forget, shout outs to everyone who reposted the stream. Shout out to everybody. Thank you all so much for reposting. Thank you so much to Saint. Thank you so much to Cobra Commando. Thank you so much to David Cash RPGs.
I always
I'm so glad the broadcast is back. We in here. We in the building. The stream was a tiny bit technical issue throughout, but it's all good. We've been having a great time. And I'll be back live soon for Sparking Zero. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.